Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our top 10. We're on the top 2, so this is my second favorite video. Anyone who's watched our channel knows I love a challenge, I love a good skin peel, and I love an eardrum peel, and this had everything in it. So this lovely gent came through with a fungal ear infection. Now it's really easy to get fungal infections in your ears. It's quite common, and normally you can treat it with over-the-counter drops, which is exactly what this gentleman did. But what you end up with then is this kind of thick layer that builds up around the ear canal walls and over the eardrum as well. So what you'll initially see here is lots of kind of dead skin where it's kind of killed off the top layer of skin there and fed off it. So we're just taking that away, which looks like a really thick I hate using food analogies because I get so much stick for this. But if you have a custard, you have the top layer of a custard, the skin we call it here in the UK, or gravy, you get the same thing. It's kind of like that consistency. So this kind of thicker, but a little bit more liquid underneath. That's what you can see. So what we've got here, we're just taking this away. You can see the little spores. You can see the little sort of little tiny they look like very fine hairs, almost like cotton wool sitting over the top of this. So that's the actual fungal infection itself. So this has actually coated the eardrum and all the way down the canal as well. So what we're doing at the moment is just peeling this all the way back to the eardrum, and then we're going to do a little peel on the drum as well. So we're just taking this away. I've turned the brightness up a little bit because the gentleman's got because it's obviously an aggravated ear canal, it tends to swell up just slightly, which has narrowed it down, so you don't always get the best amount of light in here. So I've just turned up the brightness a little bit. There we are. See how it peels and kind of peels away in chunks and starts coming away. There we are, just starting to peel from the top now. If you've never watched one of our videos before, normally I post new earwax removal videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. I'm actually on some leave this week, so which is why we're doing the top 10. But if you haven't seen our videos before and you are enjoying them, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing as well. So can you see at the top left-hand corner where we were just working? We've just got a little bit of a peel. It's just peeled down into the canal there. And we're now trying to loosen all around the outside edge. This is the fine end in here because we're working so close to the canal walls to get that peel. It's difficult when you're looking at a standard size ulnar tube. You can't really see as you're looking down what you're kind of pushing into as far as the ear canal is concerned, because the top of the standard size will stop you from seeing it. So we use the fine end, which gives us a good gauge as to where the canal's going, because don't forget, they're not always straight. They will go up and down and left and right, and as you're kind of pushing along, we're peeling so close we don't want to accidentally dig the sort of suction tube into the canal wall itself, because that will cause a bit of discomfort for the patient, but it can also risk bleeding as well. So we're really starting to peel this away now. See how you're getting that lift. Look at the material as it lifts. You'll see what I mean about that kind of that thick layer there. Now imagine that's covering your ear canal. So if you imagine you've got this kind of thick this thick sort of skin layer almost of wet debris underneath, and this thicker, tougher layer on top covering your eardrum. What's going to happen is your eardrum is only three skin layers thick. So basically what's happening is when the sound normally hits it, that eardrum can vibrate really easily. If you've got this thick build-up over the top of it, then what's going to happen then is that eardrum can't vibrate the way it should. So this patient, not only do they get a little bit of discomfort, they'll get itching in here, the sound will be dampened, so it can be quite problematic. And especially with, when your jaw's moving, your ear canal's constantly flexing like this. When that's happening, it's really going to be causing some irritation in this canal. Look at it, you can see the skin underneath is really pink where it's all been aggravated in here. What we will do with patients like this sometimes is if they've come through an infection, it's a full-blown infection, then we'll go away, get them to treat it first, and then we'll take away the majority as we're doing here, and then tell the patient to go away, treat, and then come back after the treatment's done. Because what can happen sometimes, you can leave remnants behind in here that need to be peeled away, and they will go quite hard at that point as well. So you can see we've got this this thin layer at the base of the canal there. And now we're just trying to pull down from the top here. I'm trying to get a good enough grip that it doesn't tear too much, because I want to use the, there you go. You see that peel away? I want to use the structure of this material against itself almost to sort of pull this apart. So we've opened it now. We can start to see the eardrum there. So let's start clearing the top wall as well. So this is what we refer to as the attic. So this top portion of the canal here. Oh, that's come away. See how that peels away really nicely? You can see it just sits on top of the skin. It kind of just kills off that top layer and just sits there. But that's a good peel there. Always very, very conscious when you're doing this of patient comfort as well. Don't forget these ear canals are aggravated. They're tender. They can feel really itchy, and then you're kind of peeling stuff off them. You've always got to be checking in with your patient, making sure that they are comfortable with what you're doing, and you know, they're not experiencing any discomfort. See how we're slowly uncovering here. So we're peeling from left to right at the moment. So we're just kind of drawing this across. This is one big chunk. I'm trying to hold the suction tube there, which allows it to get a good grip, because the suction builds and holds on to that material really tightly. So we've peeled that section away, which is going to free up a lot more of this. Now we need to do the top section there, because can you see it's still attached to the right and to the top, going up and over the top there. So we're going to work on that section next, see if we can pull that down. Slowly working across this right side now. There. Oh, do you see that bit pull then? It started to pull away. What you can do sometimes if you get a grip like that is if you draw back, it'll peel along the canal walls coming away as well, which is what I'm trying to do there. Trying to hold on to it enough that we pull this way. Normally we pull down or across away from the canal wall that we're working on. But if you haven't got a great deal of room in there, another good trick is if you hold on to it and bring it towards the camera, then it just naturally peels along the canal wall as well. Obviously, it depends on how well it's attached, because if it's attached really, really well, then what happens is as you pull it, you just lose the suction grip. There we are. We've got a nice big chunk coming away there. And just trying to get a grip on that next section. I'm just backing away with the endoscope a little bit, because it will help me to maneuver the fine end. If you imagine you've got the endoscope as one sort of thin metal piece inside the ear canal, you've got another one there, you're trying to work around the two. So sometimes what we'll do is we'll just draw the endoscope back, which gives us a bit more room here without the two crossing and clicking into one another, because that can cause the tool to jump. So it's so sometimes we do have to kind of pan back a little bit. There we are. Do you see what I mean? As we pulled it, it started to loosen that top layer. It started to peel that away as well before it broke away. Really, really starting to peel away now. Got a good grip there. It's coming away. Look at that peel. Look at that peel away. Good sized chunk came away there. There we are, lovely. We're just starting to expose. Look at the eardrum though. The eardrum is directly in front of you there. Now that kind of pink patch with the grey underneath, that's the drum. So you can see just how aggravated that is and how kind of puffy that's gone. Let's see if we can get this bottom section now. We've got that little valley there. Trying to peel across in there. Sorry guys, I keep finding myself doing this, trying to see over the top. Just slowly working that away. Gosh, that's so delicate there. Okay, let's try further back. Sometimes with these peels, if you start further back, you'll actually get the beginning of the peel There we are. See how we lifted? We were struggling to get a grip on that little section just in front of the eardrum there. But because we started further back now, look at the sort of thickness and the peel we've got there. That's actually connected to the piece we need to take away. Look how far back that whole section went. Now we've got the difficulty of trying to hold on to trying to get the good grip on this base section here. I've put the bigger end on here, so this is the standard size ulnar tube in here. Holding it, trying to get a good grip, trying to get as much into the suction as we can to get a good tight grip on this. It's almost, you can see it flexing, it's lifting, but it's just not there. They've just started to see a little bit of detachment. Brilliant. That came away really nicely. You can see just how tough that was. My goodness me. Look how mottled that eardrum is. You can actually see the blood vessels coming to the surface on there as well. Really, really aggravated. The good thing is now, if you use drops at this point, we've got rid of a good majority of that fungal infection. So what you've got to think of is, if your fungal infection is coating the entire canal, when you put the drop in, it's going to come into contact with the top layer and start killing that off. Now, obviously, you've got layers underneath that which also need to be treated as well. So if we can get rid of this top layer and expose the kind of the thinner layers underneath and the skin underneath, it means that when we do put the drops in then to treat this, it's going to have a much quicker effect and much quicker improvement in there as well. Still peeling some of this dead skin away. Got the fine end back in here again. Got these little tiny skin lifts. I'm just going to sort of draw from behind and forwards. That detaches the skin lift and it gets sucked into the suction tube as well then. You can see that eardrum. There's still a little bit of a mottled effect on there. Look at this dead skin coming away. It's pulling away. It's really satisfying when you can make a big difference like this. When it's coming away, look at how all this has built up on the eardrum as well. Just trying to slowly work around the outside edge, lifting all this up. You can see it's almost formed like a second skin over the eardrum there. And let's get rid of this section here to the right. You can see a little bit of flex. Look at that peel away. Did you see that lift and peel right up the top? So all that mottled material you can see there, all gone now. Look how smooth that eardrum looks now compared to how it did a few seconds ago. Got this little bit down at the base of the canal here. Oh, it's so frustrating. This last little bit didn't come away. Holding on. Is it going to bind? It's almost there. There. You can just start to see the movement now. Do you start to see that kind of fold down into the base of the canal? That's where it's just starting to peel away. There we go. From that one side, we've got the peel going there now. That's peeling from the bottom of the eardrum there, down into that little valley. There we go. I love skin peels. I think eardrum peels are one of my favorite things to do, and this was a real good one to do. Just give me that last little piece. See how it forms these thin layers, And there's the eardrum. Now that actually looks like an eardrum towards the bottom there. You can see the hammer bone coming at this angle, and then you've got the eardrum there either side of it, all looking quite red and aggravated. It looks really pathetic when you look at it there. But what we did there, that was such a tough one to do, but so satisfying to do at the same time, just because we could get that off the eardrum. It looked a heck of a lot healthier. This is what was actually in the tank, so you can see everything there as well. Fabulous. So that was my number 2 of the top 10. So coming next on the next video is my number 1 favorite up until lockdown, I would say, because I think my favorites might have changed a little bit since lockdown, but I did compile this list during lockdown. So this was my number 1 favorite on the next video. So please watch that one as well. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe, and I shall see you for the next video.